What's going on YouTube? Today I wanted to go over a second option that I could have played during pre-release. These were some of the additional cards that I pulled. I had debated on playing this one or playing the Villains deck. I ended up playing the Villains deck. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and head over to my channel and you can check out the Villains deck in there. But without further ado, let me go over this one. So this one would have actually been the Web-Slinging strategy. So just to kind of actually let me put it here. So kind of starting off, the big one that I would have said would have helped out with the web-slinging strategy was actually City Pigeon. It seems like a funky common. I thought it was hilarious because how City Pigeon works is it's a flying 1/1 bird. When this creature leaves the battlefield, you create a food token. So the funny thing that you would do is Pigeon would come out, likely try to get a food. You'd web sling it back to your hand, and it would drop the food, and then you got to use it as a food token. Funny strategy. Anyway, for the web slingers, we had Arachne. Again, this one would have been the next best card in here, mostly because of this last ability. So spells of the chosen type cost 1 more to cast. This is with regards to your opponent's hand. Not only does your opponent's spells of that chosen type cost 1 more to cast, you get to look at your opponent's hand, so you get to kind of figure out what strategies they have up their sleeve. Really good for mid to late game, especially if you're trying to figure out if they have any combat tricks. Spider UK. This was the next one that I had for web slinging. Beginning of your end step, if 2 or more creatures enter the battlefield under your control this turn, you draw a card and gain 2 life. This one was pretty good, mostly for helping out, especially when you're tapping creatures, you're adding them back to your hand, and then you're just casting them again. Spiderman Web Slinger, just the basic web slinger of the set. It's actually really cool to be able to cast this for 1 white. So turn 2, if you had a City Pigeon and this in hand, you pretty much were getting a 3/3 on board by turn 2. Flash Thompson, mostly only to allow Flash Thompson to either be tapped or you got to untap a target creature. Flash Thompson actually would have helped out a lot if you had to, you went into combat, you had some issues in the combat steps, so then you flash in Flash Thompson just to untap target creature if you needed to. Daily Bugle Reporters, not super strong, but really helped out getting those +1/+1 counters, which since this was not a modified deck, didn't help out as much, but you could also return target creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So if you needed that pigeon back, somebody got rid of the pigeon, you can bring the pigeon back. Web Up, I actually ended up pulling 2 of these. So when this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Just good for removal, especially if you have 2 of them. Spectacular Tactics. This one was a little bit more targeted towards the modified ability, but again, another spot removal in case you're having some issues with a card on board. Costume Closet, another modified support, but if you have a lot of your +1/+1 spiders that you're web slinging around, it's really helped out, especially when something gets web slung back to your hand. You can still get your +1/+1 counters. Also, you could focus on spreading out those +1/+1 counters with this, which I really like. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary. I actually liked this one. This was kind of what started drawing me in towards the web slinging, and I was like, oh man, this one would have been great because you get to search your library for basic land, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Great if you're trying to get some more lands that you can just keep web slinging. Go into combat, you swing in with a bunch of creatures, and then you start web slinging them all back so that you can get all of your other creatures that can be used as blockers later. Guy in the chair, I ended up pulling 2 of these ones. So again, another good one for 1, you get to add mana, and 2, if you are good on mana, you can put the +1/+1 counters on a target spider, and then let's say you add 1 mana, you can web sling it back, and then the second step of the turn, you can cast it again. Unfortunately, because it has summoning sickness, you won't be able to tap it, but at least you will have it on board for the next turn. You could also block with it as a 2/3. It's got a lot of toughness, so that one would have helped out a lot. Gallant Citizen. This one would have been another good one. This creature enters, draw a card. Really helps out with that draw engine, especially if you're web slinging it back. The only problem is the 1/1, so there's no really good way to be able to get him to tap unless you have other creatures that can help you tap, like Flash Johnson, or enchantments or anything that can help you tap creatures. Spider Rex is mostly just to have a Stompy on board. The Wall Crawl is nice to get a spider on board with reach. And then it gets a +1/+1. It can't be blocked by creatures but defender. Unfortunately, the set doesn't have too many defenders from what I saw, so that second ability really wasn't going to help you out too much. Pictures of Spider-Man. This one, I think this card would have been great because look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in any random order. Wow, holy moly! You pretty much get 2 creatures that you need, either web slingers if you're looking for them, or if you need the city pigeon back or something. What a great card that this would have been. I wish I kind of saw more of these during pre-release. It probably would have hinted me more towards the web slinging archetype. Terrific team up. This one wouldn't have been so bad. You do have to have more creatures on board to help you out with this, but this is actually good for spot removal. Sandman, Shifting Scoundrel. The one thing that I will say about this was it was nice to be able to have. It would have been nice to have a high power and toughness creature on board, especially when you need it later in the game. Using this to kind of close out the game. Lurking Lizards. Whenever you cast a spell with a mana value of 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Unfortunately, with this setup, I would have only been able to get to probably like 2 or 3 cards, so this wouldn't have helped out as much as I would have liked if I chose this route. Subway Train. Ooh, this one was an interesting one because when this vehicle enters, you may pay green, and if you do, search your library for a basic land card, reveal and put it into your hand, then shuffle. The other nice thing that would have been great with the vehicles is if you ever need to tap any of your creatures and web sling them back, Subway Train was there to kind of help you because you could crew up the subway train and then you can web sling your Spider-Mans into play. The last one, I was not a fan of this card at all. News Helicopter, so it has flying, and then when this creature enters, create a 1/1 green and white human citizen creature token. Sure, you have flying, which is great, but actually, if it enters, create. Wow, actually, this would have been great because you have flying. You swing in. With flying, if you're not too worried about your opponent blocking with reach or a flying creature, and then when you web sling it back and then you cast it again, you get a 1/1 green and white human citizen creature token. Wow, that actually would have been pretty cool. One thing is the 1/1 green and white human citizen creature tokens. I think it would have been spending a lot of time kind of going back and forth with that one. So going through all of these, so the Web Slingers, so Spiderman, Brooklyn Visionary. Let me move these ones off the board. So Spiderman, Brooklyn Visionary, your regular Spider-Man Web Slinger, your Spider UK, your Arachne would have been the only ones that would have had the web slinging, and I think that was kind of the big thing that was kind of making me not want to go this route. Having only 4 in the library, I don't think I would have seen it much. And whenever you do the web slinging, unfortunately, you kind of only get to do it once, really, unless you have another web slinger in hand that you can kind of cycle back and forth with to do any sort of tricks or anything. But I think with only 4, I think it just wouldn't have been enough. It wouldn't have been impactful enough to win any games. Okay, that's all I've got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Tagging out.